Welcome to Inside the Realtors Studio, interviews with industry leaders and professionals in real estate. This year, the Tucson Association of Realtors turns 100, 1921 to 2021. We honor our history by conducting interviews of the past presidents of the Tucson Association of Realtors. We'll learn a bit of history by talking to the experts themselves. Today's past president from 2019 is Barbara Wilson. Barbara considers herself a semi-native Tucsonan. She moved here with her family in 1975. Barbara spent 22 years as a paralegal, with the last part being in real estate law with Michael J. Monroe, Esquire, who was TAR's legal counsel for many, many years. And in 2003, Barbara became a licensed realtor herself. Just a few of Barbara's many real estate leadership accomplishments are: 2012, elected president of the Tucson Women's Council of Realtors. In 2016, she attained her associate broker's license. 2019, elected president of the Tucson Association of Realtors. And in 2021, sits on the Arizona Realtor Board of Directors, is vice chair of the professional business development for the Arizona Realtors, and is vice chair of the Large Board Forum at the National Association of Realtors. Barbara has served on many other committees, task force, and PAGs, including RAPAC, education, and forums at TAR, and as educational leader at Arizona State Certified Residential Specialist. Friends say that Barbara is down to earth, sociable, and fun to be around. To that, Barbara adds patient, hardworking, knowledgeable, and an excellent listener and negotiator. Barbara relishes showing off our wonderful old Pueblo, bringing joy to her clients by helping them find that special home, which is tremendously rewarding. Please welcome to Inside the Realtors Studio, Barbara Wilson. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning, everyone.
Did I get that all right?
You did.
Okay, good. Well, let's begin our voyage with a little bit about real estate before you were president. Okay. So where did you first hang your license?
With which brokerage?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. With RE/MAX.
Oh, okay. Had to think about that for a minute, huh?
I know, I was like, wait a minute, who did I start with? It was just a job before I started working with Long Realty.
That was 18 years ago after all, so.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So I've known you in the business and I've always seen you work alone. Have you always worked alone, or did you ever partner with anybody or work as a team?
No, I'm working alone.
Yeah, okay. And what would you say is your real estate specialty? I mean, a certain price point or a certain side of town, or?
Well, my niche market is second home buyers, retirees, and relocation. I mean, it just kind of fell in my lap at one point, and majority of my clients come from out of state. So I get the pleasure of showing them the old Pueblo.
Nice. And so you first got into the business 18 years ago, as did I. So you want to describe the technology of the day, what you were working with?
At the beginning, I mean, we had MLS, so that's good. We didn't have to deal with books. So it's just improved over the years, more technology. Zoom is the latest. We were kind of forced into that with COVID, but yeah, I can't do without technology. And it's ever changing and fun. A lot of people don't think it's fun, but I love technology.
It always promises to make our life easier.
Yes.
That's what it promises.
It's cool at the beginning, but you know it's going to be good later down the road, just like cell phones.
Yeah. For those of us who had the bag phones back in the mid 80s, yes. So let's shift over now to your presidency. You were in office in 2019. This is going to be viewed way in the future. So many years from now, when we're perhaps in the retirement homes or who knows what at that point in time. So can you describe our current building?
Let's see. We are on Tucson Boulevard and Grant. It's a glass building. We're right in the middle of starting to do a little bit of revamp to it, modernizing it, streamlining it, making it more member-centric. So the process has started. COVID kind of delayed things a little bit, but it's work in progress.
Plus, we're trying to keep up with the neighbors who are all coming in with bright, shiny new facades, you know. Yeah, sure. And would you like to describe your CEO?
CEO's Randy Rogers. He came from a philanthropic background. So this is his first time being a CEO in a realtor association. So it was a learning experience for him. He's done a fantastic job. The greatest thing about him not being in this profession before is he's starting it new and fresh and from a different perspective. So.
And at this point, he's been in 4 years in 2021. Is that about right?
So he came in during Pam Rougerola's year.
Okay. All right. So, and how about the rest of the staff in that? Anyone you want to single out or shout out to, or?
Actually, a couple of them. Christine Sanchez. I mean, she is an absolute Wonder Woman with her knowledge and her skill set. Love her to death. Personable, fun to work with, just an amazing woman. And then there's our dad, Steve Huffman. He is so politically connected to our community, and he knows the right people that is going to help keep our profession thriving. He's going to protect homeownership and our profession. I'm a Golden R major investor and part of President's Circle, and because this is our profession, and I'm doing my part to protect it by investing in RCAC.
So how did you get involved in association leadership?
Well, let's see. It started, I think it was at one of the expos, just talking to people and seeing, how much fun they were having with it. So I started with that committee.
Oh, okay.
That's Perfect. How I got started, and it just progressed from there.
And did you have anybody that you looked up to as a mentor in leadership, or anyone that kind of oonched you along?
Yes, JT and Linda Tegas, as they do a lot of people, and they just helped me to become the person that I am in leadership.
Yeah. So what would you say was your biggest accomplishment during your presidency in 2019?
Well, my passion is education. I mean, that's huge for me because that shows our value as a realtor. So I really wanted to streamline our association and bring in some national speakers. So I spoke with the president-elect Billy Mortka, and we kind of developed a plan so that it was more like a 3-year plan, my year, his year, and now Diane's year, so that we could streamline. And it's just been so rewarding just to see the strides that have happened and continuing to happen. And so we brought in Jeff Turner. He spoke on artificial intelligence. Jamie Cassett from Google, he spoke on current and upcoming technology. And then Lee Brown, she spoke on the 7 deadly sins of sales. So to be able to bring in national speakers was just great for our members.
As a side note, for those who don't know, in 2014, when I was president of the association, I selectively picked Barbara to be the head of the education department, and she did a wonderful job at that point. And also, in following in your footsteps, this year I'm chairing diversity for AAR, and we're doing the same thing with an educational series. So it's exciting. We just had our pre-meeting for next Thursday is going to be our first speaker, and we have the next 2 selected, and it's good. It really gets everybody kind of enthused. So
yeah,
thank you for
really
that.
excited for that.
Yeah. And so can you describe how you've served on AAR or NAR committees?
Let's see, I started with AAR on the Professional Business and Development Committee. So I was a member, and now this year I'm co-chairing with the amazing Mandy Neat. Oh my goodness, that is a wow.
She's a dynamo,
really
yes.
Looking forward to this year and next year with her.
Cool. And any other thought? How about NAR? Because you just got named to be vice chair there for the large board forum, right?
Right. And I started on the Leadership Advisory Board as a member. And then this year I was selected as co-chair of Large Board Forum, which I'm really excited for. I'm hoping we get to make it to the annual convention in San Diego this year.
For those who don't know, who may be looking at going into leadership going forward, the large board forums, to me as president, when I was there, I think was probably the best part out of my experience at NAR, because what they do is they create a huge room with multiple tables, and you're divided by the size of your MLS board, and you go, and they had set topics, and then you would just kibitz with everybody that was there. And I had pages and pages of notes that I would come away with. And I hope as vice chair, you'll be able to do the same for us, even though we're no longer sitting at the table. Any other thoughts about your term in office?
I was just so humbled and honored to be a part of all of the past presidents, and I couldn't have done it without the help of the past presidents, the association staff, and I've been going to NAR's mid-year and annual since 2009, and I wouldn't miss it. I mean, it's the education and connections you make. They're so invaluable.
It's true. True. Yeah. The good news for you, at least in your year, COVID didn't strike.
Exactly.
So, yes, for poor Billy. Billy had a whole other experience.
Oh, but he was so good at it. I mean, he's great at what he does.
Yeah. So we are at the end of our interview. So I like to finish with 7 quick questions, and I'm hoping for 7 quick answers. So what's your favorite word?
Kindness.
And what's your least favorite word?
Can't.
And what turns you on?
Seeing older folks holding hands still. I love that. I don't know why, but I just love it when I see an older couple just walking and they're just holding hands and enjoying each other's company.
Barbara Wilson, you are a romantic.
I
and what turns you off?
Mean people.
Okay. Now, what profession other than real estate, and I'll also say in terms of legal, your legal background, would you have liked to have attempted?
Detective.
Ooh, that's a great answer. Love that.
I really want to do that. I mean, I even went so far as I did ride-alongs with police officers. You know,
Cool.
so really wanting to do that, but
yeah,
life takes a different turn.
Well, there's always a third act, after all.
Sure.
And is there a profession that you're super glad you did not attempt?
I think being a lawyer.
Oh, okay. We've had that answer a few times.
Yes.
So nobody's brought up dentists, but apparently lawyers are at the top of the class here. So in closing, if you could do a shout out to anyone, living or not, in the real estate community, who would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. Trying to think who made such a huge difference. When I first went to convention,
You can have more than one if you'd like.
in the real estate profession.
In the real estate community.
Real estate community. Oh goodness. Man, there's just so many people that trying to think of one that's, I don't know. Pam Rougeroli's probably been one of my biggest people that I can bounce a lot of stuff off. We laugh and we just, we can share stories. So shout out to her for sure.
There we go. Yeah. Anybody else?
Let's see. Charlie Oppler.
Oh, okay.
I met Charlie years ago, and he's just the kindest face, the nicest man, and he really made me want to get more involved with NAR.
There we go. All right. Well, we are at the end of our interview. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Let's see. Well, with our association being 100 years old, I really am looking forward to seeing what Diane does this year and our upcoming presidents.
Jody, yeah.
Jody.
All right. Well, at this point, I will say thank you so much